Okay, you could
All right, Panther fans. Excuse Stu and I while we're finishing our conversation.
no, I was gonna say mention to everybody the new
Yeah,
surprise that we
yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah. Well,
And then whoever's
we'll
watching this has already seen it, but
right. Yeah, if you're watching it, you've already seen it. But
tell your
well,
friends.
yeah, let us know what you think about the thumbnail. We'll put it that way because if you're watching it, you've seen it. Actually, I'm not sure if that's no, that's true. Usually on YouTube, that's what shows as the thumbnail. So, or I mean on Twitter. Anyway,
It's very cool.
it's very cool. Yep. And we need some cool things around here this week because it is like slogging through the mud with your waders on. I don't if anybody has ever put on their waders, their full length waders, and then you see, oh look, the river's at low tide and I can go walk around on the shore. When you get to a certain point in the river, the nice hard mud turns into quicksand. And when I mean quicksand. You think, no, it's no problem. And your foot only sucks in maybe about a foot and a half, and you think, no problem. How it's not a big deal. You try to get out of that shit. Okay.
All right,
That's all.
you won't be going in the river until it dries out.
No. Well, I just have to avoid one certain section. Anyway, that's another story.
Anyway,
I told him we had to find something to talk about.
Let's talk about last night, the disaster of last night.
Look,
I thought, the game was very fast from the opening whistle.
Right.
It was back and forth. And I made the observation to you, and it just seemed to me that the Bergeron line with Marshall, they were on like every other shift. Every time I looked, they were on the ice.
Yeah. It was very much like the Toronto game where Martins and Matthews were on the ice like the whole freaking night. Yeah.
And basically that's their offense. But,
right.
Marchand and Bergeron, if there was Panther killers on the Bruins,
right,
that's them.
Right.
And of course, the Rat is public enemy number one for me. Gudis was actually number two, but now he's
right.
one of my favorites.
Look,
he's actually been clean. I don't recall seeing too many dirty hits, if any.
Well, and now let's start here. I'll agree with you, but let's face it. If he was making dirty hits, it's not like Bally's is going to show it, right? You know what I mean?
No, but we could see it.
Well,
on the original play,
right?
I mean, he's done the hip checks and whatnot, and he's crushed some people.
Yeah, he's been pretty smart.
I remember playing against us, with some slashes and stuff and cross checks to the back.
Yeah.
Unless we're missing it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So what happens?
So look, this is the reverse of what we are witnessing, Panther fans. I don't want to see anybody concerned. What we are witnessing is the opposite of last season. Last season, the Panthers played the Lightning, and we're going to prove that we can beat the Lightning. So while they're coasting around towards the end of the season, when we don't give a shit about this, we're out there busting our ass, and we go to the playoffs thinking, oh, look, we can kick the Lightning's ass. What we're seeing now is the reverse. Tampa, Boston, they haven't been – well, Boston's been playing well, but Tampa hadn't been playing well. They are both trying to get themselves into gear, ready for the playoffs. They're still fighting for playoff position, and we're coasting around. And One Bad Steve said it perfectly in the comment last night. When you have a line that is Giroux, Thornton, and Achara, you can pretty much write off the game. And so I don't want to see anybody concerned about this at all. I mean, we were coasting during the winning streak, but we were turning it on in the little waves and getting our goals. Now we're not even, I knew it. I mean, it's totally fine. It's totally natural. It's human nature, not even upset. Once we clinched that conference, the level of play pretty much dropped off. We did the Toronto game. We did play pretty well, obviously, in the Toronto game. But even then, we were managing players, and like Stu said, they were throwing their stars out there a lot. So,
to me, it's all about not getting hurt,
right?
And the update that Derek just got from George Richards, or I guess he posted a tweet this morning that they were minor injuries,
right?
If we want to call them injuries,
right?
And
tweaks is what they call them.
Tweaks, whatever. they decided to, not have him come back for precautionary measures, which is the smart thing to do.
Yep.
Be on the safe side.
Right.
And as far as the losses, the only thing it's going to do is lower our win percentage.
And
the thing that I'm worried about is they got 2 games left. I don't want to go into the playoffs with a 4-game losing streak.
and I don't think we will. I don't think we will.
I would hope Montreal and Ottawa, I would hope that they would beat the Canadiens.
Yeah.
But again, these teams, they got nothing to lose. They're playing loosey-goosey. And,
right.
They've seen now 2 teams beat us and they're at home.
Right.
So why not, just go 120% and really try and, take us down.
Yeah, I get it. Look, and there's only so many people we can call up because of salary cap, right? I think you're probably looking at 2, maybe 3 people, because if you're counting, you're putting, Lundell being hurt, then kind of hurts us a little bit numbers wise. So there's only so many guys you can take off of the ice, right? Because again, we can only bring up so many people with the cap.
How many we can?
No. I mean, I think what do we have? Like 2.5, close to 3 million in cap space, I believe. So if that's accurate, that's probably maybe we could bring up 3 guys, Denisenko, Niemi, maybe Strawn, Noel, maybe we could bring up 3.
I don't think they're going to bring up Noel, to be honest. I mean, the first thing that came to mind was Prisky, but why bring up another defense?
Yeah, why bring up another defense? Although that might be one that they bring up.
Who's that guy that we always hear about down there?
Hutsko? You talking about Hutsko?
Yeah, Hutsko.
Hutsko, yeah. Yeah, there's any number of guys that, so cap issues is going to be, I don't know what the LTIR rules are. I don't know if we could put like Achari and Hornquist on LTIR for the 2 games to clear some caps. I don't know what the rules are.
I'll tell you, both of those guys, I'm not going to say worthless, but those guys have just.
No, I think Hornquist is coasting. He's an older guy. He's been in and out of the lineup. Injured a little bit this year. I think they've been doing a lot of maintenance days on him. I think he's an example of a guy who's been just completely saving it for the postseason. When he has played and had his energy, he's been really, really effective. This last month, 6 weeks, he's not shown that energy, and I have a feeling that's on purpose. And we'll find out. You know what I mean? We'll find out.
All right. So let me get this in before I forget. Yeah. So speaking of time on ice, if I'm not mistaken, Barkov had 17 minutes and change.
Was that all? I mean, was that because at one point
19 minutes and change? It was under 20 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know the exact figure. Someone could look it up.
Right.
And kind of sort of close with Huberdeau too.
Yeah. No, we saw a lot of Thornton and Achari last night.
Yeah. Which we are okay with.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're just not going to win a lot of games that way. And it wasn't like the defense was bad. There was 3 breakdowns and they all ended up in the back of the net.
Well, you had Gudas trying to go for the big hip check.
Right. Is that what happened?
Sorry, Steve. Weegar made a bonehead play.
What happened on that?
I think he went to pass it and it was intercepted.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And then it was dished off the hall and
Right. Yeah, I didn't see the replay because whenever something like that happens, my phone just literally starts smoking from the vibration.
Yeah. Now, normally, before we go on air here, I will be watching the NHL Network.
Right.
They replay on the fly, which is their basic review of the games. And I didn't have time to do that this morning.
Yeah, I think the words Randy used, because I heard when they must have been replaying it when I was getting ready to go do the recap. The words Randy used, I believe, were Weegar fumbled the puck. So
yeah,
whatever happened. But
I think that's what I wrote you last night.
For me, I said it in the recap. Okay, I don't care if that's Weegar, Matheson, Yandel, Ekblad, Barkov. 5 seconds later, If we are, the difference between winning a cup and not winning a cup is Bob has to make that save. Because
Correct.
the team that's going to win the cup, that's Vasilevsky's making that save 5 seconds later.
Correct.
That's the
I mean,
difference.
Bob made a hell of a lot.
He made a hell of a lot of
last
saves,
night.
but it's
It's
when
the
you make the
ones,
saves.
the ones that we really,
Right.
Yeah, you're right. He can't let that in.
I mean, and it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a big difference. Not his fault. I know it's a ridiculously tough shot. The guy is flying in, and it's a totally, under most circumstances, you're like, well, what could he do? But
I don't think he had. This is just, again, my observation. It looked like he didn't have time to set himself.
Yeah, no, he just didn't
It
even
happened
move.
so fast.
Yeah.
And Hall came down flying.
Yeah.
That I don't think Bob was able to get.
He wasn't
in the
ready.
right position,
Yeah. And that's understandable. Who's ready? Most goalies are not going to be ready for a shot 5 seconds after the face. I'll bet you he'll be ready next time. You're right.
But we tied the game. I mean,
Yeah,
less
no, I
than
know.
less than like a millisecond.
Yeah,
Reinhardt
half
made
second.
a great play to score.
Yeah.
So we're 2-2.
Right. And look, and then we
But,
gave up the one more, which really, that was a shot that Bobrovsky got off of his chest, and the rebound was a big.
Now that
big,
was all Marchand. That
Right.
shows you hockey IQ.
right.
Okay, so he had an opportunity to pick the pads or the chest, and in
Right.
this instance, if it's the pads, maybe it's not that big of a rebound.
Right.
The chest, Bob's like, he's only got one option.
Right.
Stop it with his chest.
Right.
The puck bounces down. But
Yeah.
our defenseman didn't cover the guy.
Right. Yeah, I know. It
Oh.
was, but considering who we iced and considering the ice time, I see your Raven on the comments. Raven's a big Bruins fan. He's happy. He's thrilled. We'll see what happens come playoff time. I said, this is the opposite of last year. Now everybody's out to try to prove that
they can't wait till next week for sure.
Right.
And I don't even know if they're even because I think that if they really wanted the President's Cup, you'd see more of an effort.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to win it by default.
Yeah, if they win it, they win it. If they don't win it, they don't win it.
Right.
But again, we got 2 games left. I would hope that they would. I just don't want, again. Maybe it doesn't matter, but it doesn't look good to go 13-0 and then 0-4 going into the playoffs.
I have a feeling we'll win these last 2 games. I think you're going to see Spencer Knight both games.
Yeah.
Why not? He did back-to-back the other time and got a shutout on the second one. So he can totally do it. And he's not going to be playing for a while after this. So we may as well,
Yeah. Well, Montreal's, they're in the cellar.
Right. Yeah. So
Ottawa's a little better team. Ottawa gives us a hard time. So let's say out of the 2 games, and especially losing 2 games, I would say they have a better chance of winning the Montreal game.
And let's not sell. Let's say we can bring up even just 2 kids, Heponiemi, Dianasenko. Let's say we only have room to bring up those 2 guys. Just the extra, they're going to add a lot of extra energy that's not on the bench right now. These guys are just going, woo, we get to play. We're getting paid for a little. They get a little bit extra money, so it's going to bring that little bit of extra energy, and I think that'll be enough to get us to 2 wins. Hopefully, I'm assuming those are the 2 guys they're going to bring up. You would think to sit Barkov, sit Huberdeau, bring up Dianasenko, Heponiemi, and manage everybody else's time. Let Luosterainen center the 3rd line, let Achari or Joe center the 4th line. And
now that Huberdeau's pretty much out of the Ross running, McDavid looks like he's solidified his first place standing. The pressure's off.
Right.
So I wouldn't mind both those guys sitting. I don't think that's going to happen, but certainly their minutes will be reduced.
I hope they do. But then
Again,
again, it may come down to a numbers game. You know what I mean? Who we got to, how many people we can call up and whatnot. That's what I mean.
again,
Lundell getting dinged kind of hurts because that's
yeah.
one more guy that we got to replace.
And just stressing that's the key right now. No, and I just cringe when I see Barkov getting hammered.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand. Well, listen, these other teams are playing hard, but I saw him get hit once.
Yeah.
And he looked like, not that he was injured, but he looked like he was smarting from something. So
I think the look I get on Barkov's face is I wouldn't mind a couple nights off, coach. That's the vibe I'm getting from Barkov. Not so much Huber though.
Yeah.
But definitely Barkov is out there like, can we just like I said in the recap, can we just forfeit these last two games?
Right.
Not that they don't want to win, but they're just ready. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They're like a caged animal, and they.
I don't think I knowing Barkov's character, I don't think he doesn't want to play. But again, I'd have to look at the stat sheet and see. I'm pretty sure. Well, let's just say this: I know it was under 20 minutes.
Right.
For a guy that was playing, 25. I mean, this year his numbers have gone way down, and that's really good because he's not going to be burnt for the playoffs.
Honestly, I would like to see Uyghur and Forsling sit and just let Lindbohm, Carlson, and Haig play. I mean, Uyghur played 25 minutes last night.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's crazy in a game where we're trying to manage people. He's managing the forwards, but he's forgetting about the defense. So Uyghur and Forsling both. And if Gudis is, do we have enough guys? Do we have 6? If
we got Carlson, Haig, and
Lindbohm with, if we take those 3 out, so that still leaves us Forsling.
Montour.
No. It still leaves us Montour,
Forsling, Sherrod, Uyghur, and then Lindbohm and Carlson.
I'm trying to make 6. So we start with Haig, Lindbohm, and Carlson. Then,
wait.
Then
Let's go from top to bottom. We got.
I want to take guys out.
Sherrod and Uyghur.
No. I don't want them to play. I'm trying to create 6 without those guys. So we'll start from the bottom.
Let's keep Sherrod in,
right,
and take off Uyghur, because you're right. Uyghur's been, like Ekblad. He's been the workhorse.
Right. Yeah.
I definitely think it would be good to have him get some rest before the playoffs start.
Right.
And again, we know that Ekblad's been skating with the team, so I'm fully expecting him to be back for game 1.
Yep.
And I hope he's chomping at the bit, ready to go.
Yeah.
They'll probably leave the 5-forward power play, even though you and I both don't like it. Ekblad will be back. Again, I think Duclair is the guy that comes off.
Right. Which is a shame, because that's what was working before we got. I mean, I'm not saying Claude Giroux screwed up the power play, but the coaches screwed up the power play when we got Claude Giroux, because it was humming along, and we got one toy, and we've screwed everything up now. And of course, Ekblad getting hurt, I get it, but you could have just as easily put Forsling or Montour in Uyghur's spot, especially Montour. You could have just left the power play.
Yep.
Put Montour on PP1.
Either one. Uyghur's not the guy. I'm sorry. Forsling has exploded in the last 10 games, 12 games with offense.
Yeah.
Which, just tells you he could have been running the power play all year. I mean, not all year, but after Ekblad went down.
Yeah.
It's great that he's scoring 10 goals. Montour's got 10 goals. Colorado still is number 1 as far as defensive scoring, but I like the fact that these guys are, putting the puck in the net.
Yeah.
Good for the playoffs.
Yep.
But again, we're going to need the power play and the penalty kill are definitely very important in the playoffs. And sometimes the power play is the deciding factor.
Yeah. No, and the discipline to not take the stupid penalties.
There you go.
That's the biggest thing. I didn't see obviously too much of that last night, but to me, we got to get through the first round. Obviously, if we can't get through Washington or Pittsburgh with this roster, there's no words anyway. So
right. We got to win the first. We got to win the first 2 games.
Right.
Can't let them take that home ice advantage, and it'd be nice to win the 3rd game.
Right. Right.
Then then we can afford to lose 1 and then bring it home, close it out in 5.
Right.
That's the perfect scenario for me for the opening round. Just prove to everybody, just get the monkey off our back.
Right. Right.
Finally won an opening round.
Right.
And then,
and then look, if we play Tampa, what we need is that this is what we're going to do. I'm going to make a video just for the team, and we're going to force them to watch it. And basically, they're going to be instructed, do not react. Just take the abuse. If they cross-check you, walk away and smile. If they
That's a
slash
great
you,
idea, by
walk
the way.
away and smile. Do not react.
That's what they want.
Right.
When you post that video, okay, and hopefully we'll do it together. We'll tag Barkov, Huberto, Uyghur. We'll tag all these guys.
Yeah. No, I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding.
I think that's a brilliant idea. Because I got news for you. We know that we know
somebody's watching.
Yep.
Right. And
anyway,
and that's going to be the key, but that's the key to that series. I mean, that's how they keep beating us, is they get under our skin, and we could complain about all the antics that Tampa does, but if it works, why the hell would they stop? They want to win a cup too. You know what I mean? And so anyway, so we got the 2 games left. Like, I don't think we're going to lose both games. Maybe Ottawa takes us to overtime. We get a point out of that. We beat Montreal, get a good, happy feeling towards the, at the end there. Like I said, I don't want to see any Panther fans worry about these last 2 games. You didn't see the Panthers out there. You just didn't. We won 13 straight, and it doesn't matter at what point, what team you win that many games straight. Eventually, there's going to be a little bit of a dip in the energy level. It just so happened to coincide with us clinching the entire conference. And that's it, man. There's not a whole hell of a lot to say.
So the Avalanche beat the Blues 5-3.
So they came back and won, huh?
Yeah, so they're 56-18-6. And I think we are, let's see where we are. We have 57 wins, I think. Yeah, 57-17-6.
So what are the points?
I think we're still ahead by 2.
I think so.
We're still ahead by 2.
Do we have the tiebreaker with them? Did we beat them?
I think they have the tiebreaker.
Oh.
Something tells me they have the tiebreaker. Regulation wins.
Is head-to-heads not the tiebreaker? It's regulation wins?
I don't know.
We have to figure that part out.
All right, so we have 120 points.
Right.
And they have 118 points.
Right. And both teams have 2 games left.
Right. So if we win, they have 1 less win and actually 1 more loss. So
right.
All we have to do is, I think, win 1 game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And
get to 122. And then if they win 1 game, and they got to 120. So it would be nice to see them lose. I don't know.
Calgary is going to beat them anyway.
Is that who they play?
No, I mean in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
Calgary is going to beat them anyway. Calgary is going to pull a 96 Panthers. I'm telling you, I've already wrote the book on it. I already wrote.
Avalanche play the Predators.
Okay.
And then obviously we're playing,
Right.
oh no, that's the Senators. So let's see. I think, well, it doesn't show the Panthers playing today. So is it
No, it's
Ottawa
tomorrow.
first?
Yeah, it's Ottawa
and then
Thursday,
Montreal?
Ottawa Thursday, Montreal Friday.
Correct.
And then luckily, then we finally will know who the hell we are.
And the
play.
Avalanche play the Wild. That's going to be a good game.
Oh yeah, that'll be a good game.
The Wild are fighting for their spot.
Yeah. So, all right.
Okay.
Yep. Short and sweet.
Any other tidbits?
No, that's it. Guys, let us know.
Barkov, I still got me to interrupt you. My apologies. I just want, again, I want Barkov. I mean, the Huberdeau thing's done. So
Right.
really all that's left is Barkov getting his 40th.
And, yeah. I mean,
he'll be the first Panther to hit 40.
Since
The only
Furry,
other player that did it was Pavel.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how many guys we can call up and see if we, I know that it's hard to think about taking those guys off the ice. I get it. It'd be interesting to see the difference between what Q would have done and what Brunette would do. That definitely, definitely curious to see what Brunette does here. So
you got to wonder what would have happened with this team if Q was still coaching.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I always every once in a while I think, what would have been if Q had been coaching this team?
Well, you got to figure the transition cost us a couple games, right? You know what I mean? I mean, all due respect to Andrew Brunette. I mean, in life, you never know how things would have, should have, could have, would have gone, right? You never know. But who knows?
The only complaint that I mean, we're going to not win every game. The only complaint I have is that LA King game where we had so many players with COVID, and they were canceling other games, but they didn't cancel our game.
Yeah.
And that 2 points, may be big. That may be the difference with winning the President's Cup.
Right.
So,
well,
what are you going to do? Let's
do?
just finish these 2 games, get a couple of days rest.
Yep. That's it.
And then come out game 1 with a full house, loud as can be.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the most important thing.
And just take the first game, in a not in a 2-1 or 3-2.
No.
Just
take it to them. Right.
Go back. I was trying to find the shots from last night, but
it wasn't. No, we weren't.
Yeah.
And my dad texted me at some point and was like, Boston had 30 shots. And we had like 18 or something. At some point.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're the the number 1 in shots in the league.
Yeah.
We average well over 30 shots.
Right.
Hey, listen, we know what happened last night.
Right.
And we know what happened the game before.
Yep. So all right, guys.
Whatever.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys enjoyed the thumbnail. Let us know what you think. And I'll be back tomorrow, 1 hour before the game.
Hit the like button.
Unless I go fishing.
I picked up
again.
What?
It got cold again. It's going to be 36 degrees with a 30-mile-an-hour wind here tonight.
That's crazy.
And I go to the river with the dogs. It's supposed to be bass jumping all over the place right now because of their spawning. Global warming my ass. Okay. It's going to be May and we've had 2 days over 70 degrees, not 80. We've had 2 days and barely over 70. Okay.
Don't get me started.
Global warming my ass. I mean, the river's freaking, the bass won't even spawn yet. The bass won't come in. The crappie won't come in. The damn carp won't, nothing's there. It's all, and it should have been 3 weeks ago already. So I'm pissed.
Anyway, I'm going to end with saying thank you. I picked up some followers on Twitter.
All right.
I'm 10 away from 900.
All right.
So guys, if you're not following me on Twitter, please give me a follow. It's at Stu and Boca.
Yep.
One word. And it'd be nice to hit 900. Just for whatever.
We gotta make Stu, please. I
it's
beg
all
you.
right.
I'm begging you. In fact, there's like 8 people left watching. Maybe. If you see that flag, you can barely see it. That flag on the wall. It's a 30-inch flag. If by the time the live stream comes tomorrow night, and Stu's got 900 followers, instead of a card, I'll give away one of those flags.
Ah, there you go.
All right.
That's incentive.
Stu's gonna create 10 accounts and just follow himself. That's what's gonna happen. I just screwed myself. That's okay.
Anyway, so guys, I don't know if did you mention about the new thumbnail?
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I said I asked them to remember we said they'd already seen it if they're clicked on the video. So
Okay, so yeah. So I just want to, hear what you think of it. I think it's very cool.
Yeah. The artist did a really, really good job.
I think they captured our likeness.
Yep, absolutely. So
anyway,
all right,
that's
guys.
all I got.
Yep. We appreciate all the support. We'll see you in the next one.
Go Cats.
Yep.